Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of 30 Days of Amplify. I'm your host, Amandeep Singh. Welcome you again. I know it's a working day for you, and thank you everyone for joining. Today we are joined by Abinaya and Salih, who will be giving their talks. And yeah, without further ado, let me bring our first speaker on stage. Uh, she is going to be Abinaya. She is going to give a talk on amplifying your development, efficient storage, and code generation. Let me bring her on stage. Hey, Abinaya, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you, man?
I'm good as well. Thank you. Ready for your talk?
Yeah.
Cool. Would you like to share your screen?
Yes. Give me a minute. Yeah. Is my screen visible, man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Take it away. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So, hello everyone. Today my talk is about amplifying your development, efficient storage, and code generation. So, I'm Abinaya. I'm working as a service delivery analyst. I have a 2 years of work experience, and I'm passionate about data engineering and analytics. I do write blogs about data engineering and analytics. So that's it about me. So so what is AWS Amplify? It is like a binge watch of AWS Amplify for you guys for the 30 days of program. So it is easy to build, deploy, and scale web and mobile applications. So if you have already created your app, you have the built-in application with the React or Angular. So you want to add the features like storage, authentication, or run GraphQL API. So you can do it with AWS Amplify. So suppose you are going to create a new application, you can do it with the AWS Amplify by just clicking some commands like AWS in it, Amplify in it. So if you are having your code in the GitHub, so you can so Amplify offers a CI/CD integration, so you can connect your GitHub repository with the AWS Amplify. You can deploy it on the web. So this is what AWS Amplify. It is used for app creation, whether it's a web application or mobile application. The next come the Amplify storage. So the Amplify makes it easy to integrate the cloud storage into your application by using the Amazon S3. It supports versioning, encryption, and access policies as well, making it excellent solution for securing your data. The third thing is about the authentication. It uses the AWS Cognito, allowing you to easily add secure sign in, sign up, and management of your application by running the commands like Amplify, add authentication. AWS Cognito is set up, and now users can able to sign in, sign up, and register and log into the application. It can help you to define rules, ensuring that only logged in users can use such features, specific features, and some of the users can able to do only the read in the application. So the next comes the UI components of Amplify UI. So it provides sets of pre-built UI components. You don't need to build it from scratch. It is like a ready-made. So customizable built-in UI will be available. You can integrate it into your web application or mobile application. So you don't need to code everything from the scratch. So it is like a pre-built functions you use in Python like that. You can design you can use the UI components. It saves you the time. and the real-time updates. So AWS Amplify enables real-time updates in your application through its GraphQL API and the data store. This functionality, so it allows your application and your end user to sync with the data. If user is updating or deleting items, it will immediately reflect in your application. So it provides the real-time updates as well. And the next comes the backend deployment. So it simplifies the backend deployment by automating the provisioning of cloud resources. So once you make the configuration in authentication, storage, the backend, and simply you can push it into the cloud by using a amplify push. This commands handle everything: provisioning the AWS resources, managing the security groups, and establishing the connection to your front end and the back end. It makes the back end deployment easy. So the next is I'm going to talk about the Amplify storage. So how do you set up the storage in your application? So to set up the AWS storage, you can simply run the command like Amplify add storage. This initiates series of prompts like what you want to the storage requirements, naming of your storage, specifies the type of content like images, documents, or videos, and the access permission as well. So the permission, the customize, you can customize the authorization rules when you define when you type the when you see the snippet of this. So the authenticator user have the ability to read, write, and delete the contents under the media. So except specific directories like media profile pictures, media albums, the guest can access only the it is the guest can able to only read the contents over in the buckets. So in the provided code snippet you can see how the access rules set up via various media files. So you can specify the access policies in S3, so with your storage path. And the next come the listen to storage events. Amplify supports the triggers which allow you to execute the custom backend logic automatically in response to specific events. For example, I can say here the upload on delete events. So by defining triggers like on upload, on delete, this is done by using the define function where you provide the entry point of the custom logic. So you can specify the custom function that run whenever the file is uploaded, whenever the file is deleted in your storage. And you can use the storage amplify storage with any S3 bucket. You can connect the existing S3 buckets to the amplify as well, and then you can connect your any S3 bucket with your web application. It provides the built-in support and advanced features like the versioning, encryption, and we talked about the event triggers. You can add that as well in the amplify storage. And it supports the resumable uploads and custom metadata and options and automatic multi-part uploads. So resumable uploads, the feature allows users to pass and resume the file uploads, making it easier to handle the network if any network disruption is there. So user can able to continue the upload where they left off. It increases the overall user experience. The custom metadata, so Amplify enables developers to attach the custom metadata to the files while during the upload. It includes such as what data type, what the file they are uploading, the user information, and the relevant tags as well in the custom metadata. So automatic the multi-part uploads. So files larger than 5 MB are automatically uploaded in parts. It increases the optimizes the performance and reliability as well. The multi-part upload strategy optimizes the performance. by reducing the upload failures or enabling faster uploads for larger file as well. If any parts fails, okay, so only the specific parts needs to retry rather than starting from the upload over again. The S3 UI components available here are the file uploader, file downloader, S3 album, S3 image, and X3 text, and X3 video as well. So AWS Amplify provides sets of S3 UI components. Those are this. You can add it to your code, and it can add it to your UI. And the Amazon Q plus Amplify. So you can the Amazon Q. You can integrate the Amazon Q in your Amplify web and mobile application. So Amplify Q can help you to chat about your code and offer the inline codes and suggestion as well in your project. For instance, you want to generate the data model for your with specific columns, so it can generate the data model as well, so allowing you to define your application structure without any manual coding. So that's it about my talk. Thank you, man. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Abinaya, thank you. I believe that this, yeah, great talk, by the way. And yeah, so everyone, due to some technical glitch, Abinaya was not able to present a live demo, which he wanted to. But yeah, that would be probably next time. Thank you again, Abinaya, for your time.
Thank you,
Um,
man.
thank you. Um, Everyone, a kind reminder that we have a ongoing social media contest. We are available on owns all the social handles with the tag name with the username AWS UG India. Please find us and share your learnings with the hashtag 30 days of amplifier to win cool swags. Also, we know that developers love doing practice by implementing things. So we have come up with a hackathon for you guys, and the official information is available on this link. We'll share this link in the chat. Uh, the hackathon is officially live. The last date of submission would be 20th of November. You can also create a team in case you would like to do it in a team, or you can also do it alone. The maximum team size is for up to 4 members. There are cool swags and prizes to be won. The first winner would uh, win an official uh, toolkit from AWS Amplify that would have cool swags, and a lot of AWS credits. Will reveal the number in some time. Then we have the first runner-up and the second runner-up. But everyone would be a winner who would actually participate and try to build something. So be a winner. Next we have Salih. Let me bring Salih on stage. Hey Salih, how are you doing?
Hey, man, good to be here. I'm really excited for this. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for asking, Salih. Um, Salih is an AWS developer advocate for the core AWS Amplify team. He is also a Google developer expert on Flutter. Fun fact, he is a collector of comic books and a die-hard fan of Spider-Man.
Not
I'm
bad,
not
man.
sure if you are able to hear some of his collection in the background, but yeah, he collects these things. So today he is going to present us two of his favorite technologies, Flutter and AWS Amplify. Salih, take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Would you like to share your screen?
Yeah, I share my screen. Can you pull it in? Yeah, perfect. So, hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. I am really excited to be part of this event from today. There are many reasons that I love this event. the biggest reason is I have been part of the growth of AWS Amplify for the last years. Like Aman said, I'm working with AWS over 2 years now, but when I started off with programming, I started off with back in days with like HP, then Laravel. Then as we move forward, I did like Android development with Java, backend with Java, Kotlin, Dart, JavaScript, and many more. And now with a focus on TypeScript and everything mobile. Today, what we're going to talk about. Today, we will learn about how we can build apps with Amplify Gen 2. So there were some questions about Amplify Gen 2. You will learn about it now. And we will see how we can build an app and deploy it by using Amplify. So today's agenda, we will briefly talk about the cross-platform development because for some folks who has not get their hands dirty with front-end side, that might be a bit vague. And we will have a brief talk about Flutter, and we will talk about AWS Amplify super briefly because there were a day of events. So check out the video from previous days to see to see what AWS Amplify is. We had a great keynote from Nikhil about the history of it. Also, we will talk about then Amplify Gen 2, make a bigger introduction to AWS Amplify, and we'll talk about Amplify Flutter, and of course, anything without a demo, it doesn't work. So we will see a demo of what we build and how it works. So the cross-platform development actually is an approach that allowing developers to create apps to run similarly in multiple platforms. So you can run the code once and it will be deployed into iOS, Android, web, and desktop. And in the last years, there has been many technologies like PhoneGap, and then there was an actual cross-platform one, React Native, then Flutter came into the game. And comparing to the other platforms, like, for example, Kotlin as a language for the open Android apps, you can see there's a big attention and attraction by the community. If you look at the last 5 years digits, you can see the blue line is the Flutter one. It is growing and growing. There's also growth in the red line, which is React Native. And you can see Kotlin had a attention only after the Android one, but you can see the number of the trend is still lower than the cross-platform ones. It is easier for people to write the code once. It is cheaper. And with the many tools that it brings, it is also easier to bring your knowledge from different platforms in. So among this, what is Flutter? I'm sure many of you heard Flutter, but in case you haven't heard it, it is a portable UI toolkit for creating beautiful, natively compiled applications for mobile, web, and desktop. What do I mean by this? When you write the code in Flutter, you will be using Dart language. And when you write the code once, you will be able to deploy that app in multiple platforms without having an extra effort. Natively compiled means the Dart language will get the code and it will do everything in its power, like tree shaking we call, to get rid of unnecessary parts and create a machine language understandable executable file that for your device, it will be a native approach. But like, what is Amplify in this equation, right? Like we have cross-platform, it's nice, but what was the point of Amplify in all of these? Like for us, the Amplify, I think this sentence is the best sentence. That's why I keep it brief like this. The Amplify's perspective when it was created was to make it easy for every front-end developer, it can be a web developer or mobile developer, to build full-stack apps, meaning that strong back-end apps coming out of the box for them. Like you can have your cloud set up by using Amplify easy and fast. We had Amplify Gen 1 for a long time. I'm not going to talk about that. You will find a lot of resources about it. I will talk about Gen 2, the new way of doing things, the way that we recommend you to do. The goal is to keep everything in TypeScript. So, well, you will define your infrastructure through writing that TypeScript code, and you will be able to get that infrastructure working for you. You will be able to have also code sharing among your backend and frontend if you're using TypeScript, or we will be doing code generation for your mobiles. Also, the deployment is part of the Amplify hosting, so you will be able to deploy your apps as well. For example, what do we support with Amplify Gen 2? First of all, we support database. meaning that we have DynamoDB or we have RDS support. What do we mean by this? When you use RDS, you can bring in your PostgreSQL databases into our system, and we will be generating the GraphQL APIs for them. We also define the GraphQL API for you out of the box by using DynamoDB too. And behind the scenes, it will be using AppSync. But if you don't know anything, that's the perfect thing. You don't have to know. We will just provide the resources for you. We have a simplified versions of functions. We have also hooks for authentication, database, and storage, and many more. The reason that we have these hooks is like, for example, post sign up, you can do an operation and write something to the database. We of course have many resources that you can use on the AI/ML side as well. We are also working on something called Amplify AI. The RFC is out, so watch out for also the schedule of the 30 Days of Amplify. We have an Amplify Day, and we will have some cool things to talk about. We have authentication with Cognito, storage with S3, and if it's not enough for you, Amplify Gento has been built on top of the AWS CDK Cloud Development Kit, meaning that you can extend its capabilities with any CDK contract that you have. So how do you combine the Amplify and Flutter? The Amplify has some open source libraries that provides you an easier way to connect your cloud through the language that you know. I said with Flutter, you use Dart, right? So for Flutter, when you use Dart, that means you will use Amplify Flutter libraries written in Dart in your application. Also, we provide the Amplify UI components, meaning that it is a plug and play, super easy and highly accessible and highly customizable UI components that you can just bring into your application. Right now, Amplify Flutter with Gentoo supports authentication, GraphQL API, storage. You can build your push notifications. We have the libraries. You just need to use CDK for this one. We have guides and documentation about that. And same goes for analytics as well. And for the UI components, we have something called Authenticator that you will write a single line of code. You will see it in a second, and you will have your authentication flow ready. So with everything done, let's see everything in action. First of all, how do you create a Flutter application? It is Flutter create and the name of the application. This E here basically gets rid of all the comments in it. And how do we create an Amplify project? If you have Node Package Manager, NPM, installed in your computer, and if you have AWS CLI configured, that's all you need. You will go to your project root folder and you write npm create amplify, or you can do at latest to get the latest version. And this Y flag is just saying yes to a question. It will create this file structure. If you work with Amplify Gen 1 before, you might remember it was quite complicated. But with Gen 2, you don't need to have that CLI anymore. This is one thing. The other thing is you have these folders. For authentication, you will be changing this resource file here. For data, you will change this resource file. And for adding anything CDK, you will be working around this backend. So one of the first things that came with Amplify Gen 2 is the sandbox environment. The sandbox environment is per person infrastructure that is only defined for you while you work on things. What is the advantage of it? It is easy to just spin up. And the second thing is it is for you, so you don't have any chance that you might break the data. So how do we create this npx, ampx, sandbox? There's 3 words. The rest of it is just for your convenience. Like you define the format of the file, you define the folder that it wants to go, but the important part is npx, ampx, sandbox. And once you do that, let me show you the result of it. Once you do that, it will do a deployment for you through the CDK, and it will create the Dart file that you might need. And once you create that, you have technically deployed your first sandbox, first working environment. However, what if you want to make a change? Like what happens when you want to make a change? You can remember that Amplify had the auth and resource here, the data here as well. For the auth, right now we are logging in with email. And once we log in with email, we will have a generic message. I don't want this. I want to have a customized version of the message. So what I will do is First of all, you can see that Amazon Q is helping me to create this. You can say, welcome to the 30 days of Amplify. And the second thing that I will do is I can create the verification email style, which is going to be code. And also we will have verification email body. The verification email body will be thing. Let's let the Amazon Q do its trick. And the verification email body will be creating create code. It will be creating the message for us. So you can define anything that you would like to do. What I will do now is I will just say, here is your code to confirm user. And I will just do this instead. And in here, $, I will say create code. We'll do the trick. So I triggered a new way of doing the deployment. It is saying, yeah, deployment is continuing, but I will put it to the list. So I will do the changes. I will do the update again. So I did one deployment and I will do another one now, because first one only got the subject because I saved it because I forgot. But like afterwards, the verification email body that I have here is deployed to my sandbox directly. Once it does that, this is the perfect time for us to take a step back and realize, okay, now I did my deployment. So everything in my default is already there. What am I going to do next? The next thing that we will do is, of course, adding the libraries, the ones that we will be using for, let me check, the ones that we will be using for our front-end application. So how do we do this? First, we add the Flutter libraries to it. The Flutter libraries are, as I said, written in pure Dart. It supports iOS, Android, web, and desktop. And for using the basic functionality, we have the Amplify Flutter. For authentication, we have the Auth Cognito. And for the UI component that I mentioned earlier on, we have the Authenticator library. For using the Amplify technologies and Amplify categories, you need to add them as a plugin. So for example, if you want to add the Cognito, you will add Amplify with Cognito. If you want to add API, you will have Amplify API. And you will add this configure line. This configure line is getting the generated file. And in the generated file, we have all the information about our infrastructure. And for adding the authentication, only thing that you need to do is add this one line of code, this authenticator here. This will control all your authentication flow. This will control you and listen to your changes and check out if your user was confirmed or not. Everything that you might need for authentication, it is there for you. So before we go through that, let's go back and see if the deployment is done. Deployment is done. So let's run the first version of the app. This is already a finished up app, but let's run the first version of the application. So we are running the application. As I said, the app can run on anything, iOS, Android, desktop. I will just run it on Chrome now. So right now it is going to take a few seconds. And once it runs, then we will see an authentication flow update. So the Chrome has started. That's good news. And you can see that like everything that we have seen was out of this one line. I'll just say, I'll just get my email address here, get a super secure password. And as you see, it asks for a confirmation code. Let me bring in my email so you can see the confirmation code with. You can see the change that we did to the title and to the message has been part of it. So the information is here. I get this one, I put this one here. And the user is confirmed right now. And if I click on sign out, I go out. So everything is done here. Next thing that we will do is we will see how the data part works. So for defining a model, what you will do is you will define your data schema. With your data schema, you will define the name of your model and define the interiors of it, like the properties, like what is the content. The content is a string that is nullable. What is done? It's a Boolean. Do you want to make it required? You can add the required field as well. It is as easy as it gets. And once everything is done, what you will do is you will define your authorization rules. Do you want only the owner of it to do operations on it? Or do you want everyone who is authenticated to do something about it? Or do you want to have like guest access on it? Anything that you can think of, you can do it, and you can define your authorization mode over here. In case you want IAM, for example, you can still do it. Once you define your models, you will say npx ampx generate GraphQL client code, and this will actually create these models that we have here. You can see that it is a generated Dart class, and everything that we had about like content, which is nullable, that's correct, is done, which is nullable, is correct, and everything that you want, you can have access to it and work around it. So how do you create, read, update, and delete things? First, you will create an object like you would normally do. You will define the ID, the content of it, and the state of it. And you will create a model mutation, because from the GraphQL's perspective, we have a mutation. We have to create a mutation, and we say mutate. So bring in like just run this request, and once it is done, it is created. For reading, it's a query. It's not a mutation anymore. So you will define a list all the to-do items, or you can define predicates. You can also get a single item as well, and call this query. And once you get the items, you can use it in any place you want. You can also update it like you would normally do. It is really self-explanatory. You will call the mutations.update and bring in the updated object and call the mutate call. Same for delete as well. If you want to delete, you will just delete it through what you will call out of the mutation as well. All right, no, it's not thank you yet. So we'll go and run these as well. So I log in, right? And let's see how they are going to work. So I do this. I have everything here. So I'm just adding a random to do with the item here. I can click on it. It is selected. I can also delete it like this. So when I delete it, it is gone. So the update, the delete, and everything is working. I'm just adding like multiple things. I select this one. And the good thing is when I refresh, it keeps the state of the login as well as the list and everything as well. And if you delete it, you can see that it keeps the items. So this is done, everything is good, but we always talked about it as sandbox. How am I going to deploy this? First thing that you will do is you will actually deploy this to a Git providers of yours. Anything that you want is fine. Then you go to the AWS console. Your AWS console, go to the Amplify in the service page. And from the Amplify, click on create new app, and it will tell you what do you want to deploy. Like, do you want to deploy from your app from GitHub, Bitbucket, code commit, anything. Or without Git as well, you can just define a zip file or Amazon S3 bucket as well. And it will ask you to do a login to your GitHub. Once you do that, it will get your repositories. It will have an access to your repositories. And once it has that, you will check in your file. You will continue, and you will see that, okay, it knows it's a Gen 2 thing, but it doesn't know it's a Flutter thing because it doesn't support the Flutter yet. The Amplify hosting supports all the JavaScript stuff and JavaScript-related web frameworks like React, Next.js, Angular, whatever you can think of. For using the Flutter for web, what you need to do is you need to update the amplify.yaml file. And for that, I just saved it, so I'll just go back to that. I just need to find it, sorry folks, because I am not going to write it. It's a long thing. So what we do here is first we deploy our backend stating that this is a Flutter application. So we need to get the Flutter format. The second thing is we get the Flutter SDK. We put it to the cache. And also we say that when the artifacts are built, when the Flutter is built, the base director of it is over here. So we do everything that we need to do. We save it here. So Amplify hosting is ready to run this. So we click on next, we save and deploy. Now it is starting to deploy our application. What do I mean by this? It is getting our code, it is bringing everything. And if I open this up, you can see that it will provision the backend resources and so on. In the meantime, I will keep my sandbox environment. So one thing that I want to show you is the sandbox and the deployment is different. This is one thing. The second thing that I want to show you is you can delete the sandbox environment quite easy. So in the meantime, it deploys, everything is all right. I will also show you how it gets automatically triggered with this as well. So it still got the latest, like the previous version about the base configuration, the base email configuration that we have. So after this is done, it will slowly continue with deployment. By the way, can you read this? It might be a bit small. Let me make it bigger. So why do I have this hosting experience as well? The reason is that it gives automatically a deep domain, so you can just test it. Everything is visible with the AWS Amplify's new console experience. I don't know if you've used Amplify before, but when you use it, it was only showing the apps. When you click, it was taking you to either a super simple page or to Amplify Studio. Now, when you click, it takes you to the hosting settings, app settings. If you go to your branches, you can have multiple branch deployments as well. You can see your authentication, your data, storage, functions, or UI libraries, everything that you need. So the deployment is still carrying on. And once it is done, now it is at the stage that it is creating the backend resources for me. And as you can understand, it is creating like we had on the sandbox environment. In the meantime, let me check the comments if there are any questions. Right now we are using Flutter, but we will have a lot of resources about React as well. And the logic of Gen 2 is actually quite straightforward. So you can pull it to React, Next.js, whatever you feel comfortable with. The thing is, it is a helper thing for you. So with the React, you can use TypeScript, and with the TypeScript, we have more developer tools actually you can use for Amplify. So all these deployment is happening. And here, yeah, we can take questions in the meantime the deployment is happening.
Yeah, I think we can take about the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 differences. Can we talk more about that?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. There are many differences. The biggest difference is how you create your backends now. With Gen 1, you were creating your backends by using a CLI tool that we have provided to you. So everything was like Amplify init, Amplify push, and so on and so forth. But we talked to the customers a lot, and the customers had the feeling that they didn't have enough flexibility and they didn't have enough understanding about what we are building. So that's why they said, like, we need something more explanatory. So this is why we have now this easy to understand code approach, which is like creating your infrastructure from your code. And once it is done, it is not a guided way of doing things. Everything is under your control. The second thing is, another big change is we are deploying everything through CDK. CDK has been widely accepted by the community, and CDK has been actually quite known by many people. TypeScript as a language is one of the de facto languages for cloud environments. So that is why you can build your backends with CDK by using Amplify now, actually, by using a language that most of the people knows called TypeScript. So this is the second biggest part. The other part is we are working on more extensions on the Amplify's capabilities. What do I talk about that? The biggest change or biggest difference is, for example, Amplify AI RFC that I talked about earlier on. We will have some interesting approaches, talks about that too later on, so stay tuned. Like, if you have not registered, please register to the page. If someone can share the link to the registration page, that would be really cool. And our goal is to work with more broader teams like Amazon Q team to help you out to create your backend experiences better and faster. And another change that we did was actually the sandbox environment. When you were using a Gen 1, you could have created environments, but it could have been still a bit problematic for you. You could have broken other people's systems, and it was working like Git environment. So in case you work like in the trunk-based development approach, you might have had a chance to not have a dedicated environment for you. This is what we have provided with Sandbox, and you will see in a second how easy it is to get rid of that. I'm just not deleting it, so I can show you that this deployment on this page is different than the Sandbox one. So right now we are creating the web, and the deployment should be done in a minute. The initial deployment is a bit slower for sure because nothing is cached right now, and we are doing something not technically supported. Think of it as your CI/CD environment. Once you have a CI/CD environment that you don't support, first you need to provide those resources, and then those resources will be used for you. So the deployment is done, the caching is done. Now we can test it in actual data as well. Come on, do your thing. Yeah. Deployment completed, everything is done. Nice, perfect. So let's go up. You can see from the green, everything is done. And now you can see that I'm here. Let's try to log in with this user that I have created. First of all, you can still see that like also the alerts are there for your user. So I try to log in, and it will say this user doesn't exist. See, incorrect username or password. I go here, I create this new user. And one interesting thing would be, let me bring in the Gmail so you can see my the email that I received. As you see, this email looks different than the one before. Why is that? The reason is that I didn't push my changes to the Git yet, so I didn't actually do my deployment. But I'll get this, copy this one, create, and come on. And let me check this quickly. All right, so now I log in, and you can see that this list is empty, and this list has some stuff because this was Sandbox. Now I go back, I actually delete everything on the Sandbox, so I get rid of the Sandbox, and I can continue with whatever I have. So I'm here, every information that I have is here too. So I can sign out, and let me push these changes so you can see how automatically update the auth. How automatically it is creating the deployment again. So it is triggered automatically. So yeah, like once this deployment is done, we should be good to go. But I think we can slowly say thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining for today. One thing that I want to emphasize again, one thing that I find really important is we have an hackathon coming. And let me pull in. We have an hackathon that we are really excited about. Like you can use Amplify Gen 2 that I've shown you to create anything, any app that you want with Amplify Gen 2. You can learn a lot of great prizes and a lot of nice AWS credits. We will share what you will be earning later on in this page as well. So you will see. So please join in, add yourself as a participant. And I'm really excited. We will share some online platform for you to ask your questions and everything as well. I will be there to assist you as well. So we are really excited, and thank you very much for listening. For today, I am done, but I'm always available online. So in case you have any questions, this username that I have here is literally wherever I am. You can find me over this. So thank you. Thank you very much for listening, and I will stop sharing so we can slowly jump to the exciting part.
Thanks, Ali. Would you like to take a question or two?
Of course, I'm always available for questions.
So one question is, since developers now have their own sandbox environments in Amplify Gen 2, how much does it makes a difference cost-wise?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Honestly, it depends on your infrastructure, right? Because at the end of the day, these deployments are happening to the infrastructure. It's just personal. So that is why it depends on what you're using. But with Amplify, one thing is anything about Amplify is free. Only part that you will be paying for is the cloud infrastructure that is used behind the scenes. And one thing to mention is Amplify also part of the free tier. So once you create an account, you will have a good amount of resources that you can work with through your AWS account.
Cool. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Audience, feel free to ask them in the chat.
If there are any questions, please do not hesitate to ask here or later on as well. I'm more than happy to answer them at any stage.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Sally, for the excellent talk, and hope to
Thank
see
you.
you around, throughout the 30 days, next 30 days, and beyond as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Honestly, I'm really lucky to meet everyone in the team. Everyone is great. And stay tuned. We have a lot of great things coming up from everyone from different backgrounds, many heroes, community builders, and AWS employees. So you will learn a lot during this time. And before I call it a day, I want to wish everyone a happy Diwali for anyone who is celebrating. I know it's starting tomorrow. So please enjoy your time with your families. Enjoy this break. Come stronger, join the hackathon, and we will build something great together.
Awesome. Thanks, Ali. Thanks for the
Yeah.
wishes.
Thank you.
Okay, let's bring Surushit on stage now. It's quiz time, which everyone loves. But before that, a quick request. So, again, the social media contest is on. It takes a lot of effort in order to, bring something like this. We have been working. The team has been working since last couple of months to, bring 30 days of Amplifier to you. Show us love. Show us some love. Use these Twitter handles. I'll tag us there. AWS UG India in Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Use the hashtag 30 days of Amplify. Do share your learnings, and we assure you that the best post would get rewarded. Moving back to quiz now. So straight over to you.
Hey Aman, hello everyone. So Aman, can you add my screen please to the stream?
Sure. Sure.
Awesome. Okay. So we've already shared the link for the quiz. I hope everybody has joined. We'll still wait for a couple of minutes for the folks to register. So here's the QR code. The link has already been shared in the chat. So please do register and join the quiz. So we have some really interesting questions coming up your way. If you have been attentive to the sessions that have happened, you should be able to answer them. Awesome. Okay. Assuming that everybody have joined, I'll just wait for another 10 seconds. Okay. I think we can get started. So the first question should be on your screen in the next few seconds. So the first question, which of the following is not a UI component provided by AWS Amplify for storage? File uploader, file downloader, S3 image, or S3 text? What
About,
is one of the following that is not?
about 10 seconds to go. This was definitely covered in the first session by Abinaya.
Okay, so the answer is S3 text. Okay, a few more people still answering. Okay, moving on to the next one. This was covered as a part of the first session. So the next question will be live on your screen in the next few seconds. Which feature in the AWS Amplify storage allows for resumable uploads to continue after a network interruption? Multi-part upload, transfer acceleration, file uploaded with is resumable option, or S3 triggers?
Last 10 seconds.
Moving on to the next one. What does AWS Amplify storage use to handle objects larger than 5 MB? Data compression, multi-region replication, multi-part upload, or edge caching? Last few seconds. Oh, wow, this is awesome. Okay. A huge percentage of the folks have given it right. It's multi-part upload. The next question. How to create a sandbox with the Amplify Gen 2? NPX, AMPX sandbox, NPX Amplify sandbox, NPX sandbox create, or NPX listen Algia. This is easy. A little confusing with the options, but you should be able to answer this. Last few seconds. The confusing options did help. Moving on to the next one. With Flutter, which platforms can you create apps? Mobile, web, desktop, all of the above. Come on, this is easy. Let's see how many people actually get it wrong.
Probably giving so much time is an overkill for this question.
Yeah. And done. Okay, so a couple of folks. Okay. The answer is all of the above, of course. So moving on to the next question. With Amplify Gen 2, which of the following categories are not supported directly? authentication, database, storage, or analytics? Come on, people, try to answer. So there are some exciting goodies for the top 3 winners of the quiz. And of course, for the tournament as well, we are going to have goodies and swags. 2 and 1. Not bad. 92% of the folks have answered it correctly. Now on to the very last question. Which of the following is not directly supported by Amplify hosting? React, Flutter, Next.js, or Angular? Again, an easy question. Last 10 seconds. One. Okay. Flutter. Okay, moving on. So yeah, that was actually the end of the quiz. So the top members of the leaderboard, we will reach out to you folks, Agarwal, Bhavesh, and Ajit are the 3. So we will be reaching out to you all and we'll make sure that you get the goodies. So yeah, as Aman has already shared and Salih has shared, please take a look at the hackathon. The Hacktoberfest is still just a couple of days left. So this is still another good opportunity for you to contribute to the Hacktoberfest as well. So yeah.
Thanks, Urshit. Thanks for the quiz. Everyone loves it. Hey guys, so we know that it's Diwali and everyone would love to enjoy their time off. Do enjoy your time off with your family. So we have put our next session, we have scheduled our next session for 6th of November. We are taking a break, giving you time. However, as we shared that the Amplify 30 Days of Amplify hackathon is on, and the last date of submission is 20th of November. So do enjoy, but also take some time out for your learnings, so that you can learn along the way and also stand a chance to win the top 3 prizes, one of the top 3 positions. So again, happy Diwali from AWS UG team India, and thank you all. Bye. Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali, everyone.